Hi all, welcome to Oops with C++ session 14. In previous session we have discussed about how to use default argument functions, how to provide default arguments to the functions, and also we have discussed about name mangling technique in C++. Okay, so in today's session we will see the new concept called function overloading. It's a very specific to C++. Okay, this is one of the Oops feature. Okay, so but without using classes and objects, I'm going to cover it in a procedural approach itself. We'll see what is the function overloading here. Okay, so before going to this function overloading concept, just have a look into this program. So here, if you see this program, I have three functions declared with the same name, function name area. So area, area. So here the first function area is taking two integer arguments, and second function area which is taking float argument, and third function area which is taking integer argument. And also if you see the different definitions here, you can see this this function is designed to calculate the area of the rectangle which is taking two length and breadth and returning L into B, that is length into breadth, to calculate the area. In the same way, I am trying to calculate area of a circle. So for area of circle, I am taking only radius and doing the pi r square operation. Okay. So next I am doing square, area of a square. So the definitions are different. But if you see, the function name is same. The arguments list are different. Okay. So now let us see whether this function will work or not. Okay, where if you have the same functions, same name in the functions, in C whether it will work or not, and also we'll see in C++ whether it is working or not. If it is working, why it is working. If it is not working, then why it is not working. We'll see that one. Okay, now just have a look on this program. So same program I have typed here, but instead of cout I have taken C. This is entire C program. Instead of cout I have taken a printf statement to print the area of a rectangle. So now currently I have commented uh, two functions which are doing um, finding the area of a circle and finding area of an square. Okay, so here also function definitions also I have commented, and this printf statements also are commented. So currently this code is having only one area function which is doing calculating of area of a rectangle. Okay, now just we will compile this program and see whether it is compiling successfully or not. Okay, since this is a C programming, what I'm doing is I'm compiling it with GCC compiler. Okay, it's compiled successfully. Now I'm doing a dot out. Okay, so when I'm doing a dot out, I can see area of a rectangle is 200. It's coming fine. Okay, so now what I will do is I will go for GCC. I will generate assembly code here, minus s function overloading dot c. Okay, now open this assembly code, function overloading dot s. Okay, so now observe the function. Okay, you can see in main function there is a call to the function area. So area function is called. Okay, this area function is called, and you can see the definition for this area. Okay, here area it's called. Now this is the definition for area. Okay, so means whatever name we have given in the function for the function name, same name will be used for assembly generation also. Means C compiler will use the same name for the function name whatever you have provided in the code. Okay, it won't modify that function name. Okay, now what I will do is I will compile this program with G++ compiler, means C++ compiler. Okay, same code. I'm not doing any modification here. Again, open the code, function overloading dot c dot s. Okay, now can you see here the function name is different. Call minus z4 area I. So here also you can see underscore z4 area I. Underscore z, it's a naming convention, and 4 stands for 4 indicates, sorry, 4 indicates number of characters present in the function name, that is area 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 letters it is having, and I stands for integer, another I stands for integer. Means this function is taking two arguments. So first one is integer, second one is integer. So it will give the different name. So this is called name mangling. This is the name mangling technique we have discussed previously also. Means whenever we are using C++ compiler, what your C++ compiler will do is it will try to give a different names to the functions based on the arguments list you are passing. Whether the arguments may be type of arguments or order of arguments or number of arguments. Okay, so now what I will do is I am just opening this code again. Okay, so what I will do is I am uncommenting this. Okay, uncommented. So here also I am commenting, uncommenting. Okay, now area of float area. Okay, so now I have uncommented. So now what I will do is now I will compile this code with GCC compiler. We can see there are a lot of errors we are getting. We can see too many arguments to function rectangle area previously declared. There is a conflicting. So you cannot call this function because according to C, all the three functions in C compiler, all the three functions are having the same name. When you are calling that function, it will get confused. The compiler will get confused which function to take. Okay. Now what I will do is I will compile this code with G++. Okay. It's compiled successfully, no error, same code. And you can see area of rectangle, area of circle, area of square. It's coming properly. Okay, you can see what is the arguments we are passing. See, for area of circle 2.25, for area of square 5, in the sense 5 into 5, that is 25, we are getting these values. So it is properly executed. Why it is executed? Now we'll see, we'll generate the assembly code for this. Why it is working for C++. So open this assembly code, function overloading dot s. Okay, so we have three functions: area of rectangle, area of circle, area of square. We are calling that one. Okay, now you can see in main we are calling those functions. Okay, you can see call to underscore z4 area I. This is for area of rectangle. So next one underscore z4 area f. This is for to find the area of a circle, and this is for to find the area of a square. So here underscore z4 area I, underscore z4 area f. F means circle. area function is taking one function argument, and the function uh, for square it is taking one integer argument, so I. Okay, and the function for and the function for rectangle it is taking two integers. Okay, so according to the compiler these are three different functions, so that's why it's calling the respective functions: z for area ii, z for area f, that is for circle, and z for area I for square. So even though the function name is same for us, but for compiler these are different functions: area I, area f. Okay, so because of name mangling, we can have more than one function with the same name in C++. Okay, so that's how we can have same functions with the different names, that is allowed in C++. Okay, now, okay, so now just coming back to the same program. Okay, so when I take this one, when I compile this program, so just assume instead of cout, I have you assume that I have used printf. Okay, so if I'm doing in C, if I'm compiling the in C by using GCC compiler, then what is the names the compiler will internally gives to the functions is area, same area, here also area, here also area, here also area, area. But when I call this program, the compiler will check area, this is the area is there, whether to call this one or this one or this one, to which one it we have to call. So that is the reason we are getting error when we are using GCC compiler. Now take the C++ compiler. When we have taken the G++ compiler, what our G++ compiler is doing is it is giving different names to the functions: underscore, z4, 4, as I said, underscore z is a naming convention. 4, it stands for number of characters present in this function name, that is area 1, 2, 3, 4, and ii stands for two integer. First one is integer argument, second one is integer argument. Third one is underscore z for area f, float, underscore z for area I, integer. So like this it will give the different arguments. Here whenever I'm calling this function area function, what will happen is the compiler will check. So this function area is taking length and breadth, that is two arguments it is taking, that is int. So now then internally it will convert, it will the G++ compiler is more intelligent to identify to which function I have to call. So this is taking two integer arguments, then it will try to call underscore z for area, which is taking two integer arguments, and we have seen it has placed a for call to the function call underscore z for area ii in the assembly code. We have observed that one. So in the same way here, what it will do, it will call a function call underscore z for area f, underscore z for area I for square. So like that, the functions to which function call, which function definition I have to link, that the compiler will decide during compile time itself. So the process of finding, so here resolving the function call with the function definition means to which function call, which function definition we have to link, that is known as binding. Okay, so that binding is taking place during compile time here. Okay, so now we have understood that in C++ we can have more than one function with the same name. Okay, so in what I said, so in C++ we can have more than one function with the same name, but they should differ in terms of either number of arguments or type of arguments or order of arguments. Okay, so having the same name for more than one function is called function overloading. Just now we have seen in our code two three more than one function is having the same function name, that is area. So having the same function name for more than one function is called function overloading. Okay, So the technique behind function overloading is name angling. We have seen the name angling is the main technique. So because what our C++ compiler is doing is whenever we are giving the functions in C++, the compiler is changing the function names based on their internally it is giving the different name based on the number of arguments you are passing or order of the arguments you are passing or type of the arguments you are passing. So since the name angling technique is not present in C++, we cannot do function overloading in C, but we can do it in C++ because name angling is possible in C++. Name angling is the main technique behind the function overloading. So when we call a function, the correct function will be identify the compiler based on the arguments we are passing in the function call. We have seen, so when I call area of length comma breadth, what our compiler will do is it will see what are the how many arguments you are passing, what are the type of arguments you are passing. Based on that, it will decide which function to call for this, which function I have to link for this function call. And this process of identifying or linking the function call with the suitable function definition is known as binding. Okay, so binding is nothing but to which function call, which function definition I have to link. So that is nothing but binding. Whereas in function overloading, we have seen during compiler time only it is identifying which function I have to link for the function call. So that's why we are able to see the function call in the assembly code, correct function call in the assembly code. So since the function overloading, in function overloading during compile time itself, binding will takes place. Okay, now um, we will see the polymorphism. So polymorphism means many forms. So here this is a new concept actually, polymorphism. So of our function overloading is one of the example for polymorphism. So why it is an example polymorphism means, example for polymorphism means polymorphism is stands for as many forms, a single thing existing in many forms, or we can say technically we can say a single interface having multiple implementation is called polymorphism. So in our case, here interface refers to function name, whereas implementation refers to function definition. We have seen um, here single interface, multiple implementation. So we have interface refers to function name, that is we have the same function name, that is area, but we have different implementation. We have used the area function name to calculate the rectangle area as well as to calculate the circle area, as well as we have used the same function name to calculate square area also. So we can also define polymorphism as single function name with multiple function definition. Either you can say interface, single interface, multiple implementation, or you can say single function name for more than um, with multiple function definitions, or we can say single function name having multiple implementation. So all these are function overloading, and it is example for polymorphism. Why polymorphism means a single interface having multiple implementation. So because interface is nothing but function name. Don't get confused here. Interface here, especially in this case, we are talking about interface as function name. So, but when we discuss with classes and object, that time interface will be different, that we will discuss in the upcoming session. Okay, so function overloading is best example for polymorphism, because in function overloading we can have same, that is single function name for multiple function definition. So since binding is taking place during compile time in function overloading is an example for compile time polymorphism, or we can say early binding polymorphism. So we have already discussed function call resolve for the suitable function call, for which function definition has to be linked, that decision will be taken during compile time itself. So the means the binding is taking place during compile time itself. So because of that reason, we can say function overloading is an example for compile time polymorphism, or we can also say early binding polymorphism. Okay, so if I am talking about compile time polymorphism means there will be something during runtime also. So you are correct. So there is something like runtime polymorphism also that we will discuss in later sessions. Okay, so here currently just saying, just remember, polymorphism means single interface, multiple implementation, and function overloading is best example for compile time polymorphism. So polymorphism versus function overloading. So we have to remember few points, very key points. So that is, in compile time or early binding polymorphism, binding will takes place during compile time. Okay, function overloading is example for early binding polymorphism. Either you can say early binding or compile time polymorphism. Okay, so name mangling is the key technique behind the function overloading. Because of name mangling only, we are able to do function overloading. Since in C we don't have name mangling, we are not having any function overloading concepts in C. And one more thing we have to remember, name mangling won't happen based on the return type of the function. Say for example, you have a function area which is taking one integer argument, another function which is also taking one integer argument. Okay, and the function is taking different function is returning different type. Maybe one function is returning integer. Say I can say um, one function is returning int as an return type, and another function is returning float as an return type. So even though return types are different, the name mangling won't happen with the name mangling won't happen with return type. Okay, name mangling will be happen based on number of arguments we are passing, order of arguments we are passing, or the type of the arguments we are passing. So functions cannot be overloaded based on the return type of the function, but we can overload with arguments only. Either it should differ in terms of arguments, either type of arguments or order of arguments or number of arguments. So polymorphism is one of the OOPS concepts. So since we are discussing about functions, so I have discussed function overloading here itself. But when we are discussing about OOPS features, that time we will again bring this concept polymorphism. Okay. Okay. Thanks for watching.